Welcome everyone to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is a live streaming video podcast by Star Wars fans for Star Wars fans, and today we're discussing the novel Defining the Galaxy, or well, I don't remember what the full thing is, but whatever, by Bill Slavicsek, something Slavic sounding.
I think you said it exactly.
That is exactly how it's pronounced, is Slavicsek, if it's something Slavic sounding.
I mean, that's the formal version.
Yeah.
We'll
shorten it for the sake of the discussion.
So this was released in. I actually don't have my notes.
2018.
Thank you.
It
How
was
come I don't
released
have that in my notes?
I don't know. I'm kind of surprised about that myself.
Wow. All right. Well, this is.
I'm just so excited about the discussion.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you got the notes down here in the description. It was published October 28th of 2018.
What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was all through CreateSpace, which is to say it was self-published, which is weird because I feel like someone who's had such a long history in the publishing world for this specific context, tabletop role-playing game, supplements and source books, but also specifically through Lucasfilm with source books, you should be able to get a publisher to buy your story. I
mean, it's also smart because then you retain all rights and you're the one that deals with everything. You don't have to deal with the shenanigans to get your shit out there.
Yeah.
So I get it. I mean, fucking like the late great John Cherry did the same thing. Granted, his book wasn't $20 like this dude's book. You know, they're going for like $100+ nowadays. Yeah, no, I can get it. I mean, of course, the biggest thing is you have a publisher releasing it, you get coverage, more people see you. This is the kind of thing where you find it if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah. And look, I don't think I heard about it when it came out. I heard references to it years ago, and then now I'm just finally getting around to reading it because I listened to a podcast by one of the guys, Stan, who helped release it through the self-publishing. So it's really been a journey of me even getting to the point of asking you if you wanted to read it and review it, which is crazy because it involves two things that I really, really love: Star Wars and tabletop role-playing games. And then, of course, Star Wars in and of itself, we always sort of reflect back on the sort of Star Wars that we now know of the extended universe and now referenced as Legends. But all of that, and we had talked about this in a lot of different contexts before, was all informed by West End Games' source materials, their source books. And that was written by Bill Slavicsek. So this guy has intimate lore knowledge and has contributed as much to Star Wars lore as George Lucas, arguably. Just in sheer magnitude of content that George never wrote all this shit. He did.
Right.
And then they approved it or not. So,
right. Like you get the realization at the end. I think it's like chapter 12 or 13 where he's like, yeah, I sat down and did the math for a fucking panel and I have done 2.5 million words for Star Wars. And it's like, God damn.
It's just
talk about a life not wasted.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, just amazing stuff. And then of course, you know, he did a lot about like naming specific like elements of Star Wars, whether it's planets or races or, you know, items and stuff. But the lore behind it all, like the whys and wherefores, he formulated because
not only
had to
that,
explain
like,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, he also had the foresight to have other voices do stuff so it wasn't all sounding like the exact same thing.
Right.
Like when he's discussing the Imperial source book material versus the Rebel source book material. Like he's like, you know, this is going to sound exactly like this shit unless I get this motherfucker. So I'm going to get this motherfucker to do it. And it's going to sound completely different, but still meld together because I'm the keystone.
It's so good.
And it's just like, God, you're a fucking genius, especially because this is all for a fucking, you know, bunch of nerds throwing some dice and keeping their virginity intact.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can say that. Mine grew back when we played it, so just saying.
Nice. Your Bahaiman grew back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is. It's all there now.
So this was all started on this channel specifically with the release of the it's like a special edition of the Star Wars role-playing game and the source book together in the slip sleeve. Is that what it's called? Slip sleeve?
Slipcase.
Slipcase, thank you.
Yep.
And I found it on eBay and then I picked it up. So Fantasy Flight Games, who currently holds the IP of Star Wars so that it can, create gaming products. And they have been releasing tons of stuff, both sort of wargaming, tabletop role-playing, and card games and stuff. Just tons of really great stuff for Star Wars that I have yet to dive into. But because it was like the 30th anniversary or 40th anniversary or whatever of the release of the original Star Wars role-playing game, they decided to put out that special edition. And it was at that Gen Con that he sort of culminates this book in the stories about going to it and doing a big Q&A and stuff about, his involvement with it and stuff. So it was October 1987 that Star Wars the role-playing game was released. And leading up to that, we have to sort of remember the ecosystem. You and I have read these books for this channel and reviewed them, but it was really just the 3 films. And not even the 3 films at that point. Like they're still waiting on Jedi. No, it was the 3 films.
No, it was all 3.
Yeah. So it was all the 3 films. It was the Han Solo and Lando Calrissian trilogies, and it was the one
Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Thank you, Splinter of the Mind's Eye that Lucasfilm didn't want like referenced at all ever, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah, and I get it. It's a fucking weird book, but
yeah. But it's still, it's part of the DNA of Star Wars, Just like, we were recently talking about, thinking about doing a review of the documentary about the Star Wars Holiday Special. And it's part of the DNA of Star Wars. It's part of what we use as a litmus test to see what kind of a Star Wars fan you are, whether you know about it or not, whether you've watched it all or not, whether you could sit through it or not.
Yeah, if you say whip, whip, stir to somebody and they don't start laughing their ass off or shaking their head,
right,
you just have to naturally assume they're not your friend and never can be your friend. Because they don't understand your pain.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was bad. Or, Grandpa Wookiee, like, watching porn in his living room.
Hell yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, while the kid's playing on toys and his daughter's fucking cooking. Just sitting there beating it in the middle of the room.
So all of that is to say that this is all part of the DNA of Star Wars. The weirdness of it has always been there. And, a certain segment of the fan base has always accepted that and just sort of moved forward with it. Just keep, pocketing what they love and then throwing aside what they don't love. The role-playing game is what really woke up the Star Wars fandom from, after the 3 films and after those books. That was kind of it. The Thrawn trilogy wasn't written yet. And so there was no like epic Star Wars anymore. It was just a dead IP. And so West End Games, this tiny little game creating company, decided to bid for Star Wars, ended up overbidding against some other people and just happened to get it. And thanks to not just Bill Slavicsek, because arguably it was the rules of it by Greg Kostikian that was really the one that made this popular and stuff. But Bill ended up writing lore and content about the universe when Lucasfilm was like, no, we don't want to go in that much detail. Like George wants to be able to make it up whenever he wants to make it up. And I thought that part was so fascinating that Lucasfilm didn't like the idea of it all being defined, but they still wanted to have the games. And they didn't understand that nerds like me and you want to know everything about everything.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of living? The pursuit of knowledge, goddammit.
Star Wars knowledge specifically.
Well, I mean, obviously, I felt like that goes without saying, considering we're on a Star Wars channel. But yeah, it's good for clarification.
Yeah,
just in case you guys were confused.
Is that milk you're drinking?
No, it is a chai tea. And don't worry, I am very disgusted with myself for being a fan of Dutch Brothers. I was actively opposing that company because they don't have regular ass coffee. And then I found out they do have regular ass coffee. They just are stupid. And now I drink uber white girl drinks.
All right. Well, goes with your car. Your lesbian car, lesbian chai tea.
Yep.
We're all lesbians. What do you want? This is who and what we are. So West End Games started with the game of Paranoia in 1984. And I mentioned that because one of the contributors to Paranoia, I think it was like second edition, also wrote the Willow Sourcebook, which I interviewed on this channel too. And so I just love how there's like so many tiny little connections in the early TTRPG universe that not only defined Star Wars and Lucasfilm properties, but also a whole bunch of other properties that are all just sort of interconnected and we all just sort of love in different versions of fandom. It's just so fascinating to me. Even Ghostbusters was the very first TTRPG that West End Games released, and its rule set informed Star Wars' rule set. So
yeah, when I read that shit, I'm like, oh my fucking God, how did I not know about this? And it's like, oh yeah, I just barely started playing tabletop shit.
You're like, you're not a nerd. That's why.
I want to do some fucking Ghostbusters. God damn it. That sounds amazing.
I think we should just do like a nice little one-off just to see what the hell.
You're not going to hear me say no.
I've been wanting to do like a full like lore deep dive Lord of the Rings campaign with you, but I know that we don't have the time to do like real deep dive stuff. And so
I can make the time.
Really?
My wife fucking hates me anyways. It's fine.
Hey Chris, thanks for tuning in, man.
Just kidding, I wish. Stupid family
love.
Wanting a family.
Stupid happiness and joy.
Whatever. If it's not on camera, I can make her do it too. Or I can just lie and tell her it's not on camera.
Right.
Why are there bright lights? Don't worry about it.
It's just, get rid of my wrinkles. That's what I'm doing, the Barbara Walters thing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No, I thought this was really fascinating because he walks through the entire history of West End Games as a company and his role in West End Games, which I thought was really fascinating because no one goes into tabletop role-playing games thinking they're going to have a career. This is a hobby that people do on a side job. Like you're a writer and you just do a side gig of writing a novel for one of these TTRPG companies, or you do some lore writing for them or something, especially back in the day because it wasn't popular. Only like stupid little kids like me played these damn games. And so no one really ever made any significant money in this industry. And so it's always fascinating when you learn about the ins and outs of those companies at the time and why they all inevitably went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Because I really loved how he put it, especially when West End Games lost the IP and it was picked up by Wizards of the Coast, who, of course, famously now owns Dungeons and Dragons. And they couldn't justify keeping it going because it cost too much and they weren't selling enough of their D20 version of the Star Wars game, which is honestly, I've played a lot of it and I think it's a much superior game to the D6 version of West End Games that we had played. We actually have a live actual play on this channel with it, which I had a lot of fun and I hope you guys did too.
Oh, yeah, it was a blast. It kicked my ass, but it was a lot of fun.
But it is definitely something that I'd like to do in the future as well. Like there's so many different things we want to do, but time is the biggest issue, I think. And especially you and I have very different schedules. So
yeah, I was going to say, I think that's the issue. 'Cause, like, I don't have a life outside of work, but work is weird. Like my free time is like 11 o'clock at night to like 2 in the morning. And, for some reason people don't want to fucking play with their friends that time of day during the week.
Right. No, it's totally fair. In any case, like there's not a whole lot to this story other than just learning about the history of it, which again, I find fascinating. There's an entire like chapter broken down by species and vehicles and planets and everything where he is explaining what he actually wrote and contributed to that he just made up and Lucasfilm just accepted. I mean, there's stuff that they had to like convince them to accept too.
Yeah, that was my favorite part, was not just the fact that like, because of course, reading Heir to the Empire, the 20th anniversary, with like all the side notes and all that shit, Zahn is really like, these motherfuckers are my source material. This is what I used to create this, which created everything. So it's like, that obviously a lot of shit came from this, but like the one that really stuck with me was how he fucking fought with them, called the Ithorians versus Hammerheads.
Yeah.
And then to explain it to him, like, well, that's like something that would be a derogatory term to them. And then that's when, oh, okay, well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, call them whatever the fuck you want. And it's just like, goddamn, like, there's so much shit that this motherfucker, if not single-handedly created, at the very least helped. And it's like, so much of the fandom is, in like, thanks to him. It's just insane. Like, it's a really short read, but it's just, every word is so fucking fascinating.
It is crazy that, I mean, he's very humble about it too. It's not like he's like, I created the Star Wars universe. I mean, he's very fair about what he had to roll in and what he didn't. And I really appreciated that, because it would be very easy of him to just sort of bloviate his position and make all the nerds like fawn over him and stuff. But he's very square,
Yeah, I've read some books where it was just, about the same, where it's like 160 to 200 pages of somebody just blowing themselves.
Yeah.
But this was very much like, these are the facts as I recall them. And he prefaces the entire book with that. And it's like, that's fucking brilliant, because then you automatically know, okay, some of this shit might be different. Even like certain stories where he's not 100% sure, like, this is how it went. He's like, it could have been this way, could have been this way, could have been this way, but this is the story that I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
And that's just reality. I remember getting together with some old friends from like post high school era, and them telling stories about me that I remember completely differently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, perception shapes reality and history. And the way you remember it may not line up at all with other people that were present, but it's literally the way that you understand it. And so it's true to you. And while that doesn't create this, manufactured black and white history that we've always been taught exists, because it doesn't, it does speak to a more realistic version of what memory and history actually are. And I appreciate that more than someone claiming factual history, knowing it's not. So, I don't know. I love this stuff. I thought it was a really fun, quick read. And there's elements of this that I've just found fascinating, because again, as Star Wars fans, we know the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek, but how would you create the voice and ad copy? And so when he is referencing, he's like looking at ads, because they also held the license for Star Trek to do Star Trek games and stuff. And they did do a bunch of Star Trek stuff. And they were doing ad copy for a Star Wars product, but it sounded like it could easily just be Star Trek, very technical sounding, very sort of science backed, which is not Star Wars at all. No. And so he like clearly came in, he's like, no, we need to get more like vrooms and action and adventure and space and just like fun, not so much technical side of stuff, and completely changed it. And as someone who deals with ad copy professionally, I found this wildly fascinating. That, yeah, of course they have different voices, every brand has its own sort of tone and voice. Of course, Star Trek would be different than Star Wars, but people who are writing the ads may not understand that difference, especially when they're trying to talk to the audience who clearly understands the difference. So, and this was like some of the early stuff. So I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good.
So this is some of the early ads where it's like helping define what Star Wars would sound like as an ad, because it didn't exist before that. It was just trailers for the 3 films. You didn't have normal ads for the novels and stuff, outside of like role-playing games, magazines and stuff. And most people didn't see those. So I found that really, really fascinating. And I liked the decision that they made to set the game between episodes 4 and 5, because you have the background of this great victory where we're introduced to all the stuff that all the fans are familiar with, but then you also have the promise of all of the machines of war to come. And so you can really play in this playground, because ultimately when they created this, they didn't try to create this linear timeline that you had to follow in, because that's not really what tabletop role-playing games are about. It's about telling your own story set in the backdrop of this grander galaxy far, far away. And by them setting it where they did, it provided a resurgent and vindictive empire to go against you as the players, and a burgeoning rebellion fresh off of a recent victory, but still not quite in a position of power, to join up and fight this insurmountable, monstrosity of the Empire. So I just thought it was so exciting and stuff. And then when he talks about going to Skywalker Ranch, fuck me.
Yeah, man. Like, immediately, that's all I fucking saw in my head was just this beautiful fucking oasis in the middle of California. It's like, fuck, I want to go so bad.
Yeah. Well, and he was
Like-
talking. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I feel like I'm cutting you off all the time. I wanna make sure I'm
You're
not-
good. I had actually already lost my train of thought, so we're golden.
Well, I love the idea that he was saying that they wanted to show us all the film props, but they didn't want him to play with them, because film props are made for the scene. They weren't made to last like models or, toys to hang and play with. And that alone also is very fascinating, which means that everything that we love and we thought was so brilliant about the films, all the practical effects and stuff, have all probably just disintegrated over time and totally worthless and gone. I mean,
The ones that haven't, man, are fucking terrifying. Like, you guys can't see it. Adam can, but like that's what my avatar on Discord is me wearing the stunt Vader mask from Empire Strikes Back.
That's what that was.
Yeah. That was the most terrifying moment of my entire life / the most awesome moment of my life. Because that was, at the time, I think it was appraised for about 1.5 million. So the fact that I was entrusted to protect it and transport it safely to the owner, and then my dumbass was like, oh, I gotta get a picture with it real quick. Yeah, easily the dumbest and coolest thing that's ever happened to me.
That's badass. That's fucking boss, man.
Yeah, it's insane, like how well a lot of this stuff from back then held up. When, I mean, that's how it is with movies. Like, you are meant to build it, and then as soon as it's over, part of the fun is destroying it.
Yeah. Well, when he was talking about that, just that pile of matte paintings,
Oh my god!
I was just like, oh my gosh, if I could just have one of those pieces of glass in my house, I don't even care which one, just any of them.
It does not matter.
Well,
Well, and it's funny too, because like he mentioned it obviously, but he didn't have to mention that. It's like, oh yeah, and when we went to the warehouse, it was like going to fucking Indiana Jones in the warehouse where they're putting the Ark of the Covenant. It's like, that's where my brain automatically went. Like, that's the brevity, the severity of the situations. Like, I would imagine it's like there's like fucking guards. There's a fucking Templar knight there. There's a goddamn moat of alligators with fucking machine guns or something. Like, just like Fort Knox doesn't have shit on this place. And yeah, it's like, God, give me an hour there, and I would need nothing else in life.
Yeah. It would be such a fucking privilege to be able to just go and kick the tires of some of those old artifacts,
Yeah.
And especially, we're both artists. And so it's like, our backgrounds, it would be just a level of appreciation that a typical fan may not understand. We often reflect back on these films and we're like, oh, they didn't use any 3D effects until George went back and fucked with them. And then, it still looks brilliant. How did they get all these sets? Well, a lot of them were matte paintings behind there, which is a traditional artist just fucking painting the background to make it look like a digital world. And it works so brilliantly because it's they've used the technique in movies since fucking the dawn of time. But
yeah, like pretty much since the inception of cinema.
Yeah. But it's done so well, and you have to think about perspective and framing that it's just amazing. And, McCory is just such a fucking treasure of an artist to have been involved in that and to frame so much of it out there that having one of those pieces that's like a dream.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking dream.
100%. Like I still kick myself in the ass for not getting any of the Colin Cantrell original shit before he passed.
Oh man.
Like I there was a moment where I could have got some stuff from him, and I
Wow.
really fucking hate myself for not getting it.
Oh man. If you could have like whether it's a matte painting or just an original, like is there a particular image that you would like to own more than anything else?
Yes. Don't even have to think about it. It is straight up the hangar on the Death Star where you've got just the line of all the stormtroopers.
Right.
Like, no question, I would fucking give my left nut for that
Nice.
with my bare hands. I mean, okay, it's not like it'd be much work. Let's be real, but I'd fucking do it.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of that sort of, well, geez, now I'm like second guessing. Maybe something from Dagobah would be really kind of cool. Some sort of backdrop. I mean, like fucking Cloud City backdrop would be really kind of cool. Ugh. Anything, anything. But those are
Yeah,
like an
it's
original, one of the like Vader v Luke, like original concept artist pieces.
oh
I
my
think
god, right?
that would probably be the one for me.
So if it was just like a painting slash drawing, not anything that was actually used on film,
Mhm.
100% it'd be the Snowtrooper concept art
Oh yeah.
from McQuarrie. Like, love that shit. I've got the statues for it, but
Oh
if I had
cool.
like the actual original shit, like, yeah, that would be. I would up my security at my house.
Hell yeah.
We'll just put it that way.
That'd be cool. All right, so really, again, part of that humbleness of Bill Slavicsek is his pointing out that he didn't really have a lot to do with the mechanical side of the role-playing game at all. His really came into the Star Wars source book and then a whole bunch of galaxy guides and stuff that built
Mhm.
out the universe specifically, and that's where he had a huge influence. And then, of course, the encyclopedias later on with Lucasfilms after the ones he did with West End Games. That's where he really made his mark. But again, it's a mark that helped define the universe for amazing authors like Zahn and the entire group of novel writers and comic artists to then extrapolate out after the Zahn trilogy, the entire EU. It was all
Mhm.
referenced from the material that he helped create during his time at West End Games. And it's just so fun and fascinating to get this perspective of the history that we all know because we're fans. But
Yeah.
the fact that on the channel, we celebrated the anniversary, we played an actual play of the actual original game, and now we're reviewing the book about the guy who actually wrote it. It's just, and again, I'm doing lore videos every week about the EU, the original stuff. All the books that we're reading right now and we're reviewing are all in the EU and stuff. So this is really a celebration of this era of Star Wars that we grew up with, and we just love more than what we're getting right now. But just
Yeah.
to say, it's the Star Wars that we know, that we
Mhm.
understood for like 40 fucking years.
Right. That's the
So good.
frustrating part is it's like you go through the timeline with him through the book from 1984, well, I guess 87. Well, when did he start? It was 86 is when he started with West End.
Right.
Um, so basically from 86 to '09, it's like this is a golden era. This is fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And then everything after that, it's like, oh no. Now I got to think about modern era shit. Damn it.
He added these little sidebars, which were like narratives that added context to the world, either from a character that he created or like two, existing canon characters talking with each other to help explain what is actually being referenced on the page to help immerse you into the actual world itself or the galaxy itself. They talked about doing a bunch of the original modules, and part of that was that's where he helped define actually create the card game, like Sabak. Like that was introduced in their Crisis on Cloud City module adventure for the role playing game. Like there was no Sabak like rules at all until they did that. Now I want to go back and get that module so I can get the original Sabacc cards so I can actually like play it with you from the original ones and see if the
Yeah, that'd
rules of
be
the
fucking
modern
dope.
version are any different than the original one, you know?
The modern rules are different, even from sort of like the middle ground type thing, like Kotar and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's still the same basic idea.
Right. It'd be interesting to sort of compare and contrast that.
Definitely, I'd be definitely down.
Chris is asking what 5-year period produced the best Star Wars content you think? 5 years
Well, I mean,
period.
fuck, I'm biased, man. Like the error. Like, I mean, that's
Heir to the Empire.
this is what started it, but Zahn is what made it fucking explode.
Yeah.
Because like this shit is fucking fun. This shit's fucking cool, but this also isn't for everybody. Books, on the other hand, like fans of varying degrees and varying things that they enjoy about the IP, like everybody's gonna read.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like 90, what was it, 91? When the fuck did it come out?
I'm honestly not sure.
Oh my god, why am I blanking on this? But
We're both looking it up. 91.
yeah, it was 91. Okay, that's right. It was 91. Yeah. So really, from 91 to 96, like that's probably my favorite era, which is funny because like some of my favorite shit is the Fate of the Jedi series. Like I think that is just top tier Star Wars shit, and the fact that that's what we had, and then Disney fucking shat all over the universe is just beyond frustrating. But yeah, I would have to say 91 on.
But 91 to 96 did something where it actually built out the connected universe in different eras of time as well. And they had interconnected storytelling through that. So through the novels and through the comics, and all the teams were talking together. So yeah, I have to agree with you. That is the golden age of Star Wars storytelling for sure. And
well, I mean, shit. Even like next one we're doing at some point.
yeah,
That was in 96, I think. So that was like the tail end of that 5-year period. And it's just like, I'm excited for you to read it because you haven't read it before, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah. It's fucking amazing. But yeah, it's just insane because it feels so lived in and so already well developed. Like they just kind of jumped into it and just so happened to create a story out of it, not like ground up built the fucking universe that we love.
Yeah. I mean, I love this stuff. I think it's so much fun. They mentioned doing a horror adventure for the original game as well called Other Space. As a horror fan, I would love to see what that's like. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. And then that was the one that didn't go through, right? Like they didn't end up finishing it. Or was that the one they finished? I can't remember.
I think they finished that one, but there was some after it that they didn't get around to finishing.
Okay, that's right. I just fucking finished it like 4 hours ago, and I already forgot.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, fucking Star Wars horror. Like, come on, you can't go wrong there.
Yeah, and we have so few of it. I mean, and it's all good. So, I also like that the D20 system that Bill helped develop for Star Wars with Wizards of the Coast was actually the backbone mechanical game system of Knights of the Old Republic video games. And it was never actually released with their logo on it for, stupid business reasons.
Yeah,
but
that is so fucking frustrating.
There's some of the most beloved video games for Star Wars, full stop.
Yeah.
Are the Coder ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so this is fucking embarrassing, I guess. I mean, I'm not embarrassed because I don't give a fuck. But I have a copy of Knights 1 and 2 on almost every fucking device I own that can run it. Wow. Because I need to be able to have access to it whenever I get a wild hair at my ass to start playing it again. Like, those are the kinds of games that I will just be like, yep, that's the next month of my life. And I will spend every waking second that I can going through those because it is just some of the best fucking storytelling / gaming there is. It's
a lot of fun. I mean, it was a great, number one, I think was my favorite. But I played 2 and it's so immersive. and you feel like you're actually like having stakes. Well, especially at the end, but it's like massive
Oh yeah.
stakes in the world. I mean, it's just so much
Yeah.
fun, so good. But that's kind of the book, you know. It was just a trip down nostalgic memory lane, appreciating this guy for what he in a very realistic way, in a very realistic tone, how he helped contribute to this thing that we all love, and we so much so we have this fucking YouTube channel about it, of
Yeah.
all stupid things. And you know, we're still revisiting some of the old novels that, you know, in some cases we've read, in some cases we haven't, and just to re-immerse ourselves in this thing that he helped define in, you know, it's time when it needed to be defined, because it wasn't. So I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it. I mean, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I got this on Kindle because it was like free pretty
Yeah.
much. I will be buying the physical copy now because
wow.
this was just such a fun read. And it's quick. Like I think it was like 160 pages.
It's very
I
short.
literally read it in the past 3 days in between appointments.
Oh, wow.
Super fucking quick and easy.
Yeah. Well, the next one we're going to be reading is much more lore centric and not about Star Wars. So that'll be a lot of fun too, which I'm looking forward to. But Chris, what do you think is your favorite 5-year period? Now that you ask us. Battle meditation was such a cool force power that actually explained why the entire First Order might need to hunt down Luke. Of course, they ignored that potential.
Yeah, that shit, man. That was one of my biggest bitch fits with the sequel trilogy is that we've already got these super strong, super ingrained in canon powers that would make sense for a lot of things, and then just like nah.
Yeah.
Except at the end where Palpatine's got the battle meditation shit, but it's like not even good. Like instead of actually doing what Palpatine canonically, or I guess in Legends would do, it's Force lightning, meh, I'm evil. That was so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I
Well,
kinda
in
hate
any
those movies.
case, is there anything else you wanted to talk about with this book?
No, I think the one thing, I mean, if we're gonna do what we liked and all that shit,
Yeah.
like the way he closed out the book was fantastic. Because the final chapter, part of it is him explaining how they updated the D20 system specifically for the 30th anniversary release, and I found that fascinating for him to explain what they did, what they changed, what they added. But then he finishes off with a story that he's not 100% sure who told him, but it put into perspective. He's like, we're all just playing in George's driveway. We're all bringing our toys. We leave them there when we leave, and at some point in time, George is going to back up, run over the toys, and then fuck off because that's what George gets to do. So it's like we have to appreciate the moments where we're there in the driveway with the toys, type of thing. Like I'm severely paraphrasing, but it was just a beautiful way to look at what they do and the fragility of it, but the fragility makes it that much more important, almost.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. I mean, I really appreciate that. Look, it's his world. So George gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. If he wants to change things or renege things or, break existing story canons, that's fine. This is his baby. He gets to do whatever the hell he wants. It infuriates me when Disney does it because it's not their thing. I mean, they bought it, but they didn't create it. And so that's what's frustrating about it. But everyone knew that the whole time, which is why it was so much fun. Like when George would change storylines or characters, there wasn't a huge fist pumping, shouting down at George because it was his thing. I'm sure there was people that still did that.
There was a little bit of that. There was a little bit of that, but at the end of the day, like we kind of accepted it because it's like, this is your sandbox. Yeah. We're just getting to join you.
But that being able to play in that sandbox with authority until he changes it, with Lucasfilm's blessing until he changes it, you're making an indelible mark on popular culture that changed the way filmmaking and storytelling happened. I mean, it's a huge credit to the author to have so much, even today, influencing what now Disney is keeping in and doing. And I think my favorite was when he was talking about Pablo Hidalgo. I hate Pablo Hidalgo. I think he's a piece of shit. But how he was referencing me, oh, he's just this fucking guy who's doing like freelance articles. We didn't even really like have him around, or he wasn't even involved at all. But he later became in charge of the story group. He's the one that famously like makes fun of Star Wars fans when they come out with theories during The Force Awakens and stuff.
Yeah, no, that dude's a fucking douchebag.
Later,
like,
he became,
oh, I'm sorry, we're giving you a fucking job, you fucking dickweed.
Yeah, it's just, But anyway,
yeah, I was trying to remember why I recognized the name, and then it's like, oh yeah, that fucking asshole. Gotcha.
Such a shit ass. But yeah, I mean, that's got to be my favorite of just how insignificant this dude is to Star Wars, to all the lore and legends, and yet he ended up becoming like the fucking ruler of it all for a time. And a total douchebag too. And as far as I know, he could still be around and doing that same thing, but I don't give a fuck anymore because it doesn't involve anything that I love. So
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I just checked out. Like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I still have all the books.
Yeah. Do you have a least favorite part of this?
Yes.
Shoot.
Very much so. His name is Timothy Zahn. To some, it's Sir Timothy Zahn. To me, it's Sir Timothy Zahn, because I feel like he's a fucking knight of just awesomeness. But to refer to him just casually as, me and Tim. No, fuck you, sir. It is Timothy Zahn. You say his full fucking name. Thank you very much. No, man, I fucking love this entire book. Like, it was just great. What it really made me want to do was immediately go fucking buy all the goddamn books that he worked on and try to get another campaign going, because like, I loved it. It was so much fun. But going back through this, it's like, God damn it, there's just so much more out there. Why am I not doing it?
Yeah, there's so much. And almost all of it's free at this point if you just want to get digital versions of it, which is really kind of cool that they released everything like that. But I would love to do that horror one. I would love to do the murder mystery one with at Cloud City where we have to play Sabak. I think that would be a lot of fucking fun. And I'd love to do the saga version of the game with you as well, because they have some really cool adventures with that one. And we could maybe drag Chris in kicking and screaming. And
oh, yeah. I mean, that's guaranteed.
See if he would want to happen. See what's what. Anyway, it'd be fun. All right. I don't really have anything else, do you?
Did you have a least favorite part?
No, I mean, some of the stuff when he was going through every type of influential piece of Star Wars he had, I was like, all right, I get it. Like, I think it was when we were going through the ships. I was just like, all right, you're a badass.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, that part got a little drawn out until the very end of that segment, because then he's like, and there's this giant fucking AT-AT, and I'm like, how do I not have this? Like, it's a scale model AT-AT that's like a foot fucking tall, and it's like, oh, I need one.
Yes, please. Yeah, no, it'd be awesome. It'd be so much fun. I still need to get that Black Series Rancor set. I really want to get that. I just gotta find it on eBay and then wait.
I got a fucking mortgage or something.
Right. All right. I don't have anything else. Did you want to?
No, I think we've definitely got it covered. Check it out, people.
Definitely worth it.
On Kindle, I think it's like $5. Mm-hmm. The book itself is like $20. It's worth it, especially if you just like the backstory of how all this shit came about. Like, it is a very fascinating read. Even if you've never played any of these games and have no interest, it's still fun to see where a lot of the stuff that we know and love came from.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you all so very much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell to get notified about our next video, and click the like button. It goes to help other Star Wars fans learn about this channel and its content. You can now become a YouTube member or Patreon patron and even pick up some custom designed Star Wars merchandise. Links are in the description below. Thank you to creator patron Aaron Hardy, producer patron Azrael, and developer patron Chris Androu. Until the Infernal Brotherhood convenes again, my fellow scruffy-looking Nerf herders, may the Force be with you.
Peace out, bitches. I got nothing. He didn't say anything stupid in the book. I mean, I was going to do the long quote of him talking about liking The Last Jedi, but I was like, no, I can't stomach saying that shit.
should have mentioned that as my news story.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't either.